There he is.
Hey, 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 hey.
What's up?
All right, Nightcap Knowledge. We need to get this moved over
Ew, ew.
so folks can see us.
Let's do it. We live, y'all. We
Hey, we don't
are
have we don't have our music,
live.
so Tanya gonna have to sing. Tanya
Oh
gonna have
no,
to sing.
we about to get some music in this thing, baby. Let me tell you something. I
No,
stay ready, so I ain't gotta be ready. That's why I got my little friend, you know.
if you got unless you got you some instrumentals over there.
Man, look,
Yeah.
when you own your own content, you can do stuff like this.
There it is. Come on, make it happen, Kevin.
Hey, but I don't own this. I just love this artist.
Oh no, well you can't play that then. And you can't that ain't
It's
gonna
not
work.
loud though. See, you can't even hear it. You can't
Yeah,
even hear it.
okay. Facebook got ears. Yeah,
Facebook,
they
Facebook,
got ears. They
stop jogging that thing. Facebook, Look, I'm making sure I'm sharing. I hope you guys are tuned in, listening, ready. See, listen at it. I'm turning my phone down now. We are live. We are live.
I hear it. I hear it. I hear it.
We are live. Look, so let me tell you, my voice is like so tired right now. I am grateful for today to get some rest. I ended up having to go get checked out last night because I had some pains in my left shoulder and my neck,
Oh
and
man.
it was like, yeah, everything is good. You just have a muscle spasm. I danced too much at the fried chicken fest. I danced too much the Pink
Oh, hey,
Friday.
wait. Don't jump into it.
I did,
We
yeah.
got we got to do the check in. We got
Oh
to
yeah,
do
yeah. I'm
the
sorry. I'm
music
sorry.
check in. You going
But wait,
you done put the horse out the barn and put
I
the
know.
cart
I'm sorry. Look, you're going in and out, but
in
that's all
front of
right.
it.
You all right? You back?
We got to back up, and slow down.
But wait, on the for real
Back
though,
up, slow
you're
down, make
tuned
this
in to
thing happen.
Nightcap Knowledge. Put the kids to bed. We're gonna put something on your mind. Put those kids to sleep. Shout out to our sponsors
Yes.
of Nightcap Knowledge, Aspire Pure Water. Make sure you get that alkaline lined up so you can be lined up and divined up. Shout out to Epps Institute, always educating, keeping your mind straight so you don't have to wonder what's going on. You already know. Shout out to Rage Room and Jackson. Let me tell you something. I went to Rage Room this past weekend. Baby,
Don't you do it. Don't
we'll
you
talk
do
about
it.
it. But shout out
Don't
to
talk about
Rage
it yet.
Room.
No, we got to do the recap. We got to do the
And shout
recap.
out to B1 Healthcare. Look, make sure you're taking care of yourself, making sure you are focused, making sure you are sound in order for you to be your best self. So go ahead. We're about to have that
Eh,
our mental health minute. Mac, it's on you. I'm going back to my golden milk.
we got some mental health minutes, and we try to do a variety of things, but there's certain things that I think we need to hear again. We all have a lot of projects, we have a lot of things going on in life, and you have to be reminded that you cannot give up. So the mental health minute is perseverance. And remember, you got to remember that you don't give up. You have to continue to work hard, continue to fight. Even when you're tired, you continue to fight. You never know, because when you're about to break, your breakthrough is right there. So we
Mm.
want to remind people that there's so much is happening, right? Just looked at so much tragedy that just happened right here in the city of Jackson before we got on.
Oh,
So
you're
we got
going
to
in and
continue
out.
to remind people,
Oh.
not to give up and to continue to fight. So perseverance is the mental health minute for this week, and we hope that something is helpful to remind folks what they should be doing and to find something to keep them going. All right, Tanya, tell us what we got going on in the music world.
In the music world, it's TBC's music check-in. Baby, let me tell y'all something. This voice is tight. I vocal rest today. I vocal rest yesterday for 5.5 hours. I vocal rest today for at least 2 hours. No, I'm lying, about 4 hours. Um, because let me tell y'all something. Jackson, Mississippi, y'all showed out at Pink Friday. Shout out to Stephen James Foundation, AARP for the Party with the Purpose, Pink Friday, which is in benefit of the American Cancer Society. Because you all know October 1st we kicked off breast cancer awareness, and we want to make sure we educate and musically educate you, but also make sure you have something that can keep you balanced while going through or have already endured and persevered your way through. So yeah. So Pink Friday was a fool. It was, I wore heels, baby. Let me tell y'all something. I wore heels for like
Not
five and a
you.
half hours. And I wore heels on stage and kept them on. I'm going to my masseuse tomorrow because he's gonna get these legs right. But
You didn't do the
that's
Patty LaBelle. You didn't come out the
I ain't do
shoes.
I ain't do anything Patty. I kept them on. Shout out to the amazing background vocalists, my girls, Eliza Sunshine, also to Sharanda Lewis, phenomenal vocalist, Daquan Curry, extra drum, Carol. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, we jumping in. I don't know where that came from, but okay. Shout out to Carol on the keys, as well as Justin Carter and my girl Karen Brown. What a phenomenal show it was. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's loud. Uh, Chuck, turn it down some. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep it going. So shout out to the band for Pink Friday. And also shout out to, it's amazing that we have our guest tonight who's going to be talking with us about just keeping us sound and also being able to keep our kids sound and getting them support. Because what I didn't talk about this weekend, and I'm gonna keep going forward, but I also want to celebrate my family and just tell my
Mhm.
family I love you. Friday went by so fast when it went from me celebrating my cousin's life. Shauna, Shauna, Shauna was just straightforward. She ain't bother nobody, but she kept it and told it like it was like you needed to hear it. So we
Like it,
celebrated
like a
her life.
Ti is.
Ti is. We celebrated her life on Friday, and I had a chance to reunite and see family members I hadn't seen in a while. So I love you, family. And yeah, it's always great to see family. Unfortunately, our reunion was this past weekend, but Shauna brought us together in the most powerful way. And at the grave site, there was a butterfly, a monarch that would not move. My aunt was even captivated by just the presence of her spirit. She kept saying, "It won't leave." I said, "No, let her do what she's doing. Let her move how she's doing." And it was just so beautiful. And I feel like I was on a high from that service to just her presence, letting us know that she was okay and she was with us. And then we had a great time celebrating that night. Saturday I came back home and I rested. I rested to get ready for the fried chicken fest. Baby, let me tell you something. It was this is
Uh-oh.
I've known the Fried Chicken Fest. Shout out to Cleveland Spears and his team, the Spears Group, for putting this amazing festival on. I've known about it. I just never performed it. I went to the first one, which was on Waldorf Park, downtown, and this year he brought it to the lakefront, which was bananas. When I tell you, if you talk about social distancing and just wanting some fresh air, a space to see God's creation, that's where you should have been this past weekend. We cut up. Shout out to Black with No Chaser, who captured the whole weekend. Chuck is going to jump in and talk about that. He's making transition home from daddy duty, husband duty, and he's going to jump on with us. But wait, baby, let me tell you something. I heard Manny tore it up. I heard y'all cut up on Water Sea. Shout out to my people with Water Sea. Y'all cut up on Saturday. Roots of Music. Sunday, that thing was bananas. I mean, y'all, if y'all follow me, if you're on my social media pages, you can see some of the videos I reshared. Shout out to my boy, Flag Boy Giz. When I tell you, he brought out, as he said, I'm a headliner. And yes, he did that. He was the headliner for Sunday. And I was so humble because I've been working on my rendition of We Outside. And he and I have been talking back and forth. But Sunday was so infectious that you couldn't help but to sing We Outside. And so, yes, again, Fried Chicken Fest, monumental this past weekend. If you weren't here, also shout out to Detour, this amazing platform that's going around the world, attending festivals and talking about mental health awareness through music. And it's an amazing platform. I had a chance to do an interview with them and chat with them because we also had the international fest happening this past weekend as well. Somebody told me Still Post cut it up like Mitchell make me soon come, me soon come. You walk good. They tore it down. So we had music all weekend in New Orleans. Some of us are recovering, like myself.
Mm.
So I I took the day to really get rest and listen to my body. To all my students who hit me up on TikTok, I'll see y'all tomorrow a.m. saying Grand Rising as we get ready for this last day of the week to go into fall break. So that's my music check
Hey,
in.
you had a very, very busy,
Yeah, yeah, it was busy.
fun-filled, meaningful weekend.
Yep.
Definitely got to shout out, and also to continue to connect with Pink Friday, kicking off Breast Cancer Cancer Awareness Month. We did the Rage Against Cancer event at the Jackson Rage Room Jackson out there on Terry Road, Terry
Hmm.
Road out there. Man, stress reliever. Tonya,
Yeah.
what was it like? Age?
So first of all, I came out to support, like to just to be present. And Mac was like, Tanya, I know you're gonna get in there and break some shit. I was like, Mac, I just came to support because I got to get on the road to get back home. He was like, I know you're gonna break some shit. First of all, and y'all gonna see, I'm gonna be posting the real soon, like a time lapse. When I tell you between my friend brothers Mac and Matthew, both of y'all punished. So look, first of all, I ate before I got there. So I would encourage you to not like come on an empty stomach. Don't eat anything because breaking some shit is a workout.
Most of us are usually angry when we're hungry.
Man, it was a workout. I broke some stuff. It felt good. I appreciate it. Marcy, am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's right.
Marcy was very, very, very helpful and vital in educating me while I was in the room. What's the purpose of the room? As well as how to go about breaking things in an effective manner. Um, and it was so subliminal because she would say, if you're going to break this, once you break it, there's a broom, you clean up this area to apply another, piece of
Mhm.
material or whatever to break. But subliminally, what that said to me was often when in my past I would rage and I would just pile shit on to rage and just rage instead of taking it one step at a time to heal through each situation. So the rage room was phenomenal, an amazing event. Then Matt hit my shoulders to release some of that tension after just like breaking it. So between raging, I was able to release mentally, physically, and get a massage to kind of recoup.
Yeah, so big shout out to Miss Marcia over there at Jackson Rage Room Jackson, whatever is
He's
politically
going
correct.
and out.
It's
There you go.
definitely a place we want to coordinate with a lot of the healthcare professionals, especially those that work in mental behavior, health, and to get you just to go and try it out because I think it would be therapeutic. Smash therapy is a real thing. They even have a room there where
Hmm.
you can calm down. Also, look at doing some collaboration with having Matthew on site where you can reconnect and be able to regroup. But
Hmm.
I was waiting on Chuck, and I know he's in transition and he should be able to jump on in a little bit. But I don't want to go too far in the show and not highlight this very important thing. We have a lot of common factors here. And Tanya, you just talked about going to a homegoing celebration for your cousin this past weekend, correct?
Yep.
So you see this hat that was made by DJ George Chuck. It says Tougaloo College. Chuck and I both entered Tougaloo College that spring 99, fall 99, spring 2000s. And we created some great relationships over that time frame. As we're going to post in the comments later, is with heavy hearts, we tell you that one of our classmates and friends from freshman year from Rental Hall, Willis Jenkins, transitioned last week. His homegoing ceremony will be this weekend in Macomb. He came in, everybody knew Will. He leaves behind a daughter, and he definitely would definitely need that type of energy around his family, because he leaves a big void. So we want to ask Tougaloo alum, friends, family, those who understand. You talking about a brother that's 41 years old. Um, so 41, 42 years old. So we want to highlight in his memory to our brother Willis Jenkins. We give a toast, a drink, salute.
Rest in power, brother.
We're going to post in the comments where you can send cards. But also, this is what Chuck and I are asking. Um, as fathers, we're asking folks we know to support and send some resources to his daughter, right? This is what we asking to do. And so we want to make sure we're going to drop the information. We're probably going to come back and drop his daughter's cash app, but send some resources, send some support, because this is real. This is a real life situation, and
Yeah.
we know a lot of times we've have supported causes where we know people that have transitioned, um, and we might not know them personally, but someone else did, and that's why we try to donate and support them. This is someone who we knew personally. Will is cousins to Chuck line brother Al. Al and Will were roommates freshman year. All of us were hallmates. So Will and Al was over in the corner. Lee McDonald was in this corner, and me and Garland went over in this corner. So and we had some great memories. So we definitely want to highlight his memory and support his loved ones and his transition. So as he become part of the crew with the ancestors, we want to recreate because to next week is Tougaloo Founders Week, and we're going to have a lot of Tougaloo on next Tuesday, and we're going to recognize and definitely going to memorialize him in a Tougaloo fashion next Saturday at tailgate. But it's going to be fun, and we always talk about the importance of celebration, is because we never know the next time we're going to get together, and if
Yep.
all of us are going to be in that number. So we want to make sure we enjoy the times and create more memories as we continue to go on. Tanya, come on, turn this thing around because I think
Yeah.
your
I'm
guest
just
just
telling y'all
popped up.
now. Next weekend, Tougaloo.
Uh-oh.
What happens on Tougaloo Yard? Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Stays on Tougaloo Yard. Uh, I said that just to bring
Well,
some
let's
joy.
let get ready
Right.
to introduce your guest.
I said that the reason I said that because I know we were saying you was talking about his daughter, and it's amazing
Mhm,
that Dr. Lauren, like, she jumped right in where it's most important that we as you say, provide support, financial support, also
mhm.
provide. Holidays are coming up. That babe, the
Yeah.
baby is going to be seeing Christmas. We want to make sure that our children are also mentally sound, and we also want to make sure that the resources are in place to help her heal through the process of her father transitioning. How old is she, Matt? Matt, can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear
Yeah.
me.
Listen,
How old is she?
I'm gonna. I do not know.
Okay.
I think she's in high school because she was getting
Okay.
ready for homecoming. She's in high
Ah.
school. I don't
Ah.
know her exact age, but yeah, though that time frame, and
Yeah.
and, and I guess for me, I'm thinking about it because my daughter's birthday is Sunday, right? So
Hmm.
it's definitely something that's weighing on my head, and to make sure that we can do something to support this young lady.
Right. Well, I know he's
What I'm
going
going to
in and
do, I'm
out.
adding her in, Tanya, and I'm going to switch out. I'm going to
Yeah.
switch out so you can introduce her. I'm going to open up another device so I can cut out this
Jump back
problem
in.
right here.
All right, cool. So
All
coming to
right,
the
you ready?
stage, y'all are already clapping and celebrating this amazing child and adolescent psychiatrist and pediatrician. Welcome to the Nightcap Knowledge stage, Dr. Lauren A. Teverbaugh. So come on in, Dr. Lauren. There she is. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. I'm drinking some golden milk,
Ooh.
which it helps with inflammation of muscles and joints. I know we talked earlier, and I was sharing with you my frog voice. My voice is coming back.
Oh, well, that's good. I had
Yes,
the amazing pleasure of hearing it full force on Sunday at the Fried Chicken Fest. So, what a difference 2 days makes, I guess.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, from off the stage to vocal rest into teaching. So I'm in the classroom, and I'm also in the community working with children, teaching them to understand their voice and celebrate their voices wholeheartedly. which is the reason I'm excited you're here today, because we talked earlier and you asked me how did I find out about you, how did I get to know who you were, and it's amazing how social media connections work.
Yes.
Where I saw you on someone else's page that we know mutually at an event, and I said, "Oh, it was just so divine. She's someone I need to talk to." Being a mother of a soon-to-be 21-year-old daughter and 20-year-old son, my children still find their ways to come into me and sometimes just land on my leg as babies. As and still they will always be my babies, but also being free to speak how they feel boldly and truthfully. Because I often tell kids, I want you to be truthful. Kids are truthful. They're not honest. They're truthful. They would tell you something and you wonder, like, I'm about to bet this child, but you can't because they're so truthful.
Yes.
So in your field, as a child and adolescent psychiatrist, as I said, you are the residential doctor, mental health awareness, a mental health doctor for excellence. And I saw that you were at Essence Festival. Tell us more about you and your field and how you entered into the field of mental health, pediatrician, and so forth.
Yes. Well, yes. So I am a pediatrician and child and adolescent psychiatrist. And I will say that I've always been fascinated by um, humans and human emotions and behavior and people. And I come like, and so even like you go back and I look at kind of what I wanted to do. Like when you write down your portfolio and you're like third or fourth grade, it was like either a teacher, a pediatrician, or I actually said a child psychiatrist. So, and all these years later, that's kind of what I really stayed focused on or interested in. Um, and so, but I think really when it really gets down to the nitty gritty, um my father died when I was 8 years old, so almost well, about to turn uh 9.
Mm,
I was 8 years old, and at the time my family didn't tell us how he passed.
mm,
And when we were in high school, my sister and I have my sister's 2 years younger than me. I have uh, two other siblings who are 11 and 12 years younger than me. But my sister and I, who share the same father, we lost our father together. I was 8 and she was 6. And when I was in college is when I finally realized that my father died by suicide.
mm,
And went to my mother and asked, okay, so how did daddy really die? And they had been divorced at the time. And my family, for because they thought they were protecting us, they did not tell us the reason
mm,
that he died. Um, and so, really when it like that little child in me, that's it's a part of why I'm a child psychiatrist, right? Because I had a lot of hurt when I was a little girl, related to that. And I wanted to help other little kids. Uh,
mm,
we're hurting, and that's really like when you get to the subconscious of it, right? That's a big part of why I wanted to enter into this field. Um but I also just it's so interesting, it's so
mhm,
fascinating, and I do truly count it a blessing, and part of my purpose in life, because it can be challenging to hear a lot of
mhm,
the stories and the lot of um heaviness that a lot of children and families have. But I do count it a blessing that people in general choose to trust me and to entrust me with their care. And so I'm grateful for that. But I initially always again interested in the field of mental health, but went to
mhm,
college, was gonna be pre-med, and then it was like, nope, that's not, I don't want to do all those science courses, all
mhm,
that, that's not me. And but I actually had so I was gonna be go into the field of psychology. But medicine pulled me to its side when I had this undergrad experience, research experience in Jamaica, and really wanted to know the biological side of health, overall health, and of course, psychiatry and mental health as well. And so I moved to New York, did my science classes in a program there, and got into medical school, went to med school in Chicago, and then ultimately moved down here for residency. That's how I got to New Orleans, and and I decided to add the pediatric side of things because I wanted, again, to understand the whole body. So understand the whole connection between physiology, the body, the mind,
Right.
and then treat the whole child, right? Um,
Right.
from all sides of it. So that's it in a very, very quick nutshell. And that's kind of how I got to the field that I'm in. And I'm particularly passionate about our people, right? So I work in a community. One of my main sites is the community health center. So I see kids, a lot of Black and brown kids, lower income families. Our clinics has access to everybody, people with insurance, non-insurance, they can come. I also see patients at Covenant House, which is an amazing um, agency and organization that serves homeless youth here in the city. And I do some work with this group called Empower NOLA. We have a Robert Wood Johnson grant, so we're doing some work to provide some trauma education to our social aid and pleasure clubs and school mental health professionals. Really bring them together so that there's a greater understanding and connection about how to see our kids, their
Mhm.
experiences, the lens through their experiences through the lens of who they are really, and address their needs and meet them where they are in the community. So that's it.
So I love that. I love all of that you do, and hearing everything you said. I of course I had flashbacks. It's just through my healing and also my parenting skills. The whole child is something that I often talk about when it comes to teaching music and teaching the whole child, because our children learn on different levels. So we want to make sure that we are treating, or not treating, but teaching and working and educating the whole child. In child psychiatry, what is the difference between child psychiatrist and child psychologist?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the training is different. And so, when you train in psychology, you generally go to undergrad and you're learning, and then you go to graduate school. And then, if you're going to be a clinical psychologist, you get your PhD. And so, you're doing either research or lots and lots of clinical. Time in the clinic, seeing patients, getting those hours, and you are able to do therapy, right? So you're able to see kids and do talk therapy or do psychological testing. So psychologists can often do standardized tests where they're testing, so like school psychologists can test for learning disabilities, learning disorders, or personality issues, or neuropsychiatric issues, so brain tests and things like that. Psychiatrists are medical doctors who go to medical school, and so they, again, learning all about the body and all of the different specialties, and then you specialize after medical school and in the field of psychiatry. For those who see adults, they complete a 4-year residency. For those who specialize in children, it's a 5-year residency. And those like myself who do pediatrics and child psychiatry and adult psychiatry, it's called a triple board residency. And my residency was 5 years, and then you take your boards, and then you can practice. Psychiatrists generally are known as the ones who can prescribe medication. And so because they understand and learn all about the physiology in the body, and the obviously brain is connected to the body, right? Then we have the ability to prescribe medications in conjunction with provide therapy. We're trained in therapy as well. So talk therapy, different forms and of talk therapy. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's a lot. I don't want to take over the interview because I know Mac may have questions as well. Shout out to Fred in our comments. He's very engaging with he said mental health is extremely interesting, as you were talking earlier. I know being a preacher's kid, and Chuck, our other co-host, is normally on here, but like I said, he has some daddy duties and other things happening. I didn't begin my healing as an adult until I was in my 30s. I didn't realize that my childhood played a major role in my development of who I am today until I began to do the work. We will often hear what goes on in my house stays in my house. So when you begin to find that healing, um, and it's often I have some students that will come to me and confide in me. Students will come to me and have confided in me in some of the most sacred conversations that I had to find out what do I do. So I had to talk to my therapist, like, what do I say? How do I have these conversations, with their parents that they felt safe to tell me, because I don't want them to feel like I ratted on them or they can't trust me. How can you speak to that as far as children coming to you sharing things with you? Because as Max said, his daughter's Jamie is about to be 13. No, 14.
17.
17. Oh my God.
Right.
17. She was a baby. 17.
Yeah.
how,
She
how do you talk to children to build those relationships of trust with their family members when they are trying to figure it out on their own?
Yeah. So that's so important to set up, like even when somebody first comes to see me, or if somebody's coming to see you, like, listen, like, you are coming here to talk about your feelings and your emotions and things that are going on with you, and everything. And I tell them, like, everything that you say to me stays in this room, and it stays between you and I, and your treatment team here. Like if they have a therapist there at the another therapist there at the clinic, um, except for if I'm really afraid that you're going to hurt yourself,
Mm-hmm.
seriously hurt yourself, and I mean kill yourself, or close to kill yourself, or hurt somebody else, or if somebody's really abusing you. And if that's the case, um, and I need to share that with somebody, I would let you know before I share that. So I won't share anything without your knowledge. Um, and just so, and I let them know that just up front, because those are the bounds within with my confidentiality. Most things, and I like substance abuse or even like self-harm, but they're not going to kill themselves. Other things that they're going to share with me, most of it gets to stay in that room.
Mm-hmm.
But if it needs, if those are the things that do need to be shared, but I let them know I'm never going to be talking behind their back. I'm not
Right.
going to share anything behind their back. If I need to share it, they're going to know before I even need to share it. That does a couple things. Kids are very smart. They know what they can share within those bounds. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've had, even if it is pretty sensitive information, and um, sometimes kids want you to tell, right? And because
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for them to hold that for themselves. They can't share that information with their parents, so they're going to tell you enough so that they can share it with they give you permission to share it with them. But if not, if it's something that they don't want to get out yet, then they know enough within that bounds that I'm going to hold that back until a little later, until I can trust her or him, me, a little bit more, right? So that I know what she's going to do with that information a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Trust it, and I give them, I like that. That's some space that should be given for the most part, right? But also, if they disclose something to me that I really think that their parents should know or be aware of, I will say, I think, what do you think about your parent or your caregiver knowing about this? Like, would you be able, do you think you can tell them that? This is, again, like things like substance abuse, history of suicidality or like self-harm or things like that. And most of the time, I haven't. I maybe can count, and I've seen hundreds of kids. But maybe on one hand, a child who said, "Absolutely not. I'm not ready yet," and I'm like, "Okay." Especially if I know that it's not something that's gonna be an immediate danger to them. That we can wait a little bit longer. I will share with, like, I will say yes. We don't need to share that with parent now. Why don't you think about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but most of the time, if it's something that that I ask, I think maybe this is something that we need to share. What do you think? And they're like, and do you want me to share that with them? Do you want to share that with them with me in the room? Um, and they say it, and it's all I think it's the transparency about the
Mm-hmm.
that's really important. And just somebody who can help them say the words,
Yeah.
right? That this happened to me, or I've been doing this, and we need to address it. Comes up a lot with bullying too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where
Mm-hmm.
they haven't been able to share that they've been bullied with their caregiver, and just having somebody else be able to
Mm-hmm.
use their words with them in the room. um, it allows that to be spoken. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Go ahead,
have
Matt.
a couple of comments. And Fred is a licensed clinical psychologist in the Chicago area.
Shout
Frederick
out to
Smith,
Chicago. That's where all my family is.
and the one that's commenting, and he has a lot of stories. We have two questions. One is from Ida. Ida asks, "What are the most prevalent trauma circumstances you're seeing in children now? How do you help them deal with past?" Oh, there you go, Chuck. And how you deal with the past trauma that's affecting their lives in the present.
All right. So that's my mom that asked that question.
Hey, mama.
I told her I was going to be on this evening, and she's on. With my biggest
Let's go,
supporter.
mama. That's what I'm talking
Your
about.
support system.
Yes. So it's actually probably not that different now compared to maybe in past generations. So physical abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. So whether that be neglect due to a parent or caregiver who has substance use issues, or it's not total neglect, but they're just not in the home. They're not, for whatever reason. There's numerous reasons that a parent that can't be present in the home, but they're not present. So those are the most common ones. And exposure to like community violence too, right? Like, so death, like losses, so loss of caregivers, parents, um, gun violence, like just loss due to those things. How do you help them deal with past trauma that's affecting their lives in the present? The number one thing is safety. So kids have to have a feeling, or safety has to be present. So the trauma has to be removed or as removed as it can be, whether that be if it's physical violence that's happening in the home, or um, emotional violence. You're trying to address whatever the underlying trauma is, and trying to remove it as much as you can, and create a sense of safety, of environment.
Mhm.
And sometimes, um, it's building up supports around, right? So if it's a loving adult, some other adult, increasing like pro-social, like things that are good for kids, things that they're doing, like activities that they're involved in, right? So that they have a place where they can feel good about themselves and do good, and build self-efficacy, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be um, getting them, of course, getting them any type of therapy and talk therapy, so that they can address and get out what's on their mind, and address that, from a treatment perspective. Yeah.
Awesome. Look, our kids go through a lot, and it's great that you are advocating and providing that safety, as well as Frederick. He wants to know, how do you assist children with being comfortable discussing trauma experiences? What are some indicators that a child may have experienced a traumatic situation without it being revealed directly to you?
Okay. So a lot of children, it's very difficult for them to speak directly, about like naming that specific trauma. So I start off like when I'm seeing kids, and I give them like a trauma screener. So it lists all of these different things. Have you ever been touched inappropriate? Has anybody ever asked you to do anything inappropriate online, like sexually online? Has anybody ever physically abused you? Has anybody ever bullied you? So there's a whole questionnaire,
Wow.
and you don't have to use a questionnaire, but you can ask these things just freestyle, right? Um, and but if you do it on paper, or if you ask them to write it out or draw it out, it takes that pressure away from them being able to say yes or no directly to you. It's something about sometimes just being able to use the language to say that is difficult for a lot of young people and adults too, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And um, being okay with revisiting it, right?
mhm.
Because the first answer that you may get in terms of if the trauma has occurred, is no, nope, that didn't happen. Nope, that didn't affect me. Nope, it's like I'm fine, right? But you can ask again, and you can ask differently in different ways, and
Mhm.
that just allows them and gives them permission again to that. I can still talk about it. I can still bring it up. That this person is somebody safe that I can talk to about it. Um, so bringing it up in different ways, using context, right? Like if you're watching a movie, if you're watching, going to a game, if you heard something on the news, right? You can bring it up. You can ask them about that. Ask them, oh, have you experienced this? How do you feel about this? What do you think about this? And all different angles. So um, and then the second part of that question was,
The second part was, what are some indicators that a child may have experienced a traumatic situation without it being revealed directly to you?
okay, so that's a great question as well. So a lot of things come out in behaviors, right? So if you see a change in
Mhm.
behavior, so if you see like a normal, more normally happy, outgoing kid become more withdrawn or sad. If you have somebody who's usually generally well behaved start being aggressive or hitting or throwing tantrums or yelling or screaming, or the worsening of like some kids who may have behavioral issues, it
It is
gets
worse.
worse,
Uh-huh.
right? Changes in sleeping patterns. So either sleeping too much or not sleeping, eating too much or not eating, change like mood fluctuations, right? Easy startle, right? Like you go to touch them and they're like,
Mhm.
jumping out of their skin, or hearing a loud noise and they're jumping out of their skin. Um, so um, those are some indicators that something traumatic or some change has occurred, and you have to delve a little bit deeper to see and ask those questions, like not what's wrong with you, what's happened to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Mac, do you have any questions?
Oh no, I'm just listening and definitely watching, the conversation with Fred, and highlighting a lot of these things that people need to know and need to hear. I think that the more we get able to have these open conversations, the more that people can replay and talk to, and take this information and be able to talk to their children or children that they know, or even young adults.
Yeah.
Um, and especially with like a lot of things we see now, for some of the violent behavior we see in young adults. It's pretty much just typical behavior, acting out. Any little thing is enough to set them off. And I
Yeah.
always say from working in psych, that when they say, "Well, I don't, I don't give a fuck, I don't care," when they say that, they care. They
Mhm.
just That's a defense mechanism trying to make you think they don't care, but they want someone to check on them to see if they're okay. People that really don't care don't say anything.
Right.
They just be withdrawn out of sight. But I definitely think that the triggers and noticing things, and Chuck and I noticed something. We always talk about this, that we saw at a school, and at that same school, Merle, um, a young lady committed suicide, and we were there one time, and we saw this white boy, moving through the crowd, and he was moving like he was trying to be invisible, like he didn't want nobody
Mhm.
to bother him. To me, it was a red flag. I'm watching him move. He just want to get through the crowd without being bothered, without anybody saying. So I'm like, has somebody been bullying him? What has been going on? He's just trying to get out the way, while everybody
Mhm.
else is just standing around. Um, so those red flags, even if you don't have children, when you work with children or in certain environments, help you to be more alert, of situations that could be prevented. And also somebody that might need to just talk to, just
Yeah.
check on them, see how things are going, just to go that extra. Like tomorrow is Arc Wednesday, and we always I promote act of random kindness. You never know who life you might change or
Yep.
save just by saying, "Hey man, what's going on? How you doing?"
Yeah.
Simple stuff. And so I encourage folks to do that. But this is great information. We definitely need to get more of this information out, so we can be able to identify those things. Fred has another question. Boy, look at that.
So
Tuvalu combination education. That boy writes some long
yeah, he
questions.
said yes. He said we have a tendency to label children who act out as bad children. However, if we dig deeper, we find that many of these children have had traumatic experiences. It's difficult for children to express their experiences, so the acting out behaviors are typically a great indicator of such.
Yep.
Yeah, that.
Absolutely. And especially like when we're in the field of mental health, right? We have these things, a lot of our diagnoses are based off of the DSM-5. That's the diagnostics manual, right? And so we have these diagnoses that are helpful in that they help people be on the same page in terms of a language,
Mhm.
but also can not be so helpful because we can um, use a constellation of what we're seeing as initial symptoms and perhaps maybe misdiagnose sometimes, right? So diagnose a kid as having a behavioral disorder like ODD or oppositional defiant disorder or ADHD, right? Attention
Mhm.
deficit hyperactivity disorder, where what really, if you get the real history, the behaviors started are rooted in something that's traumatic, right? So a major loss, a major event that happened, and unless you get to the root of that, you're not treating the right thing. And a lot of our Black kids are getting labeled or getting misdiagnosed, um, as having ADHD or
Mhm.
ODD,
Mhm.
um, when perhaps the underlying issue is PTSD or
Yep.
complex trauma, right? And the three can all coexist, right? You can have all three, but if you're missing the what happened to you piece, the traumatic piece, and you're not addressing that, then you're not going to fix or
Oh,
address
child.
the real issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to hold you long because I know you have to get to family. 2 questions. What keeps you balanced? And then the second question, I want to make sure your social media, we have it corrected at Juneteenth on IG, correct?
That's me.
All right.
That's me on social
So
media.
what keeps you balanced?
Yes. So a whole it's been a whole seeking process, right, through the years, but exercise. So I run, meditation. I have a meditation practice. Spending time doing the things that bring me joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
um, Listening to music, right? Eating healthy, eating good food, but also, not eating good food. Not
Enjoying.
sometimes, right?
Right, right.
um, Trying to slow down sometimes. Like I'm really working on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
To really just savor family, spend time with family, friends, like the people that are important to me, making time and making sure that I spend time doing that. Just and again, like that um, that being present and being making space for gratitude, like to be grateful
Mm,
for what I have,
that's true.
acknowledge just what I have, you know.
Well, I know I'm grateful for you just by a DM, and here we are today talking on Nightcap Knowledge. Chuck has jumped in. I know you have to leave, but I wanted to make sure you guys had a chance to meet as well. Mac, myself, we appreciate you for taking the time to be with us. There's Chuck. He's trying to recover from a long weekend in school. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Chuck. We can't hear you. But go ahead. We know you have to get to family. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. T. We appreciate you, Dr. Teverbaugh, your time, your words. I know Fred, we're going to have to get you and Fred on here so we can have a conversation of just building solutions for us to um, continue to be intentional, but just resources to use for our daily growth and healing process. So thank you so much, Mama
Thank
Ida,
you.
for being on here supporting your baby.
Pleasure and honor to be here. Happy to come back. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much. All right,
Thank
have
you.
a good one. Chuck, you're here.
Yeah.
What's up? Ew, ew.
What's up? What's up? What's up, man? We out here coaching T-ball.
Well, how was the game tonight? How was rehearsal or
Look,
practice?
it was a
That's
game.
a rehearsal.
Well, I'm like rehearsal, damn.
That's that music language. Music language. You're like rehearsal.
Yeah.
Like
Practice would definitely be considered rehearsal for the game, I guess. So
same
you know,
thing, same difference.
Wait, real quick, shout out to Mama Ida. She said she's loving this. Ew, ew, ew. Mama Ida, let us know where you are so we can shout you out. Shout out Fred, you in Chi-Town. Ew, ew.
they're like, yeah, that's a Dr.
Teverbaugh mom.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Mama Ida making sure that Ida. Knowledge. Okay, I'm sorry, I had a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, I didn't catch much of it, but one thing that I know that I did see is that Dr. Fred is supposed to be coming on, I think the third weekend, Lord.
Tuesday.
The third Tuesday
Uh-huh.
in this month. So
Mm.
we're definitely, excited about people being excited about Nightcap Knowledge.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and Dr. Fred Smith is definitely one of those folks. And look, we're still excited about this. So
Yeah.
that's the fun.
So the conversation now, and Chuck and I always talk about this, Tonya, for the guys, and we'll say, example, me personally, I could give a shit less of what LeBron James do on the court.
Mm-hmm.
I care about what LeBron James do in his community. Those are the conversations that Chuck and I push other guys to talk about. When we're talking, we're asking about your health and wealth. We're asking how are your children, how are you? Those are the most important things at this point. Entertainment is going to be there, but we got to
Yep.
figure out how we're going to make sure we continue to help each other heal and be a support system, create the community that we need, that we had, that we did not have. Um, there go one of them that just came in there. So that's one. Where's Jackson? Because I already know.
I played him first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in the bed.
Yeah, because usually if one comes, it's Chuck said he got to buy everything in threes. He can't buy nothing no more, just one. He got to buy everything in threes. So
yeah, because if it's something that Jada gonna like, she got to have one too.
That's fours.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, man, that's what we are, Tonya. And we talking about this. This health is very important. All health, all aspects of health, all genres of health is very important. We need to be having these conversations with each other and more conversations like this. So actually on the 18th, we're going to have Fred, who's talking about mental health.
Wait, come back to the 11th first because we have Del Marina next week.
Yeah.
So we have Del Marina next week where
she coming back for her full episode.
Right, for a full episode. And the reason I said that because I just wanted to pull back because it's great that you are saying, especially for the men, because that's what my husband went to chop it up. Dr. Bennett does that here for the men in New Orleans.
Right.
Just an amazing space for men to be true and
Yeah.
free and vulnerable. Nothing's being filmed, nothing's being live, everything is closed, intimate conversations. And I feel the thing is what we have to understand as Black people who are making powerful moves, that you don't have to say everything that's happening. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be manifested in the end. And I love that you brought that up because I came back to Del Marina because we didn't know what she went through in her preparation to be the first person of color of the Afro Latina community to be in her position. So I just said that's great. You guys have this space and this platform for us to be balanced and to get in for us to get these resources for us to continue to be productive.
Right. So all I was saying was going along with the conversation we just was laying out. I was saying that on the 18th, Fred and Chef Nick Wallace both will be on. These are two brothers that are definitely doing some amazing things. So and Chef Nick Wallace is also all over the media with being on things like Chop. But why is that important? Because a lot of conversations I had around food.
Yeah.
Especially good food.
A
lot of conversations. Right. So did you, girl, you like you saw a roach crawling up the wall. What the hell wrong with you?
No, because look, on the Farilla.
You just scared Chuck.
Look, let me tell you. It's amazing that you say that because if I showed you all my screen, this is so divine. I just finished talking to my professor because I have Mia X's book. It's actually things my mama told me, things my mama showed me on my nightstand. And in the book, she opens up talking about food. She talks about her career wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for her grandmother, right?
For her
And so music and food and the mind goes hand in hand. We feed our minds, we feed our souls, and we feed our bellies. So that's part of my actual paper for grad school. So that's why I said that's divine.
I love it. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I got excited.
Mind, soul,
and the belly. Yep.
Yeah, that's
feed your mind.
Yeah, like my paper opened with a melodic entree. Like it's a melodic entree for you to begin to break down what you're eating and how is it. Yeah. Yeah.
A melodic entree.
Like
so would you say that your performance is like a 12-course meal?
I would say the courses are limited because everyone gets something different from each performance, each song, each rhythm, each beat, each moment. So it's what your takeaway, what I want, no matter what the course may be, I want them to be full. And when they leave, they're so full and motivated and inspired to live out their dreams and to help the next one live out theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what happened this weekend.
It sure
So.
enough did. We sold out.
Man, look, we trying to get gigs to next year for Mississippi Greek Weekend. Have gigs come on that coast and cut up, you know.
But hey.
All right, so how much fried chicken did you guys eat?
Oh man, it was definitely moderation for me. You know, Lo and I, we shared Josephine's, which is the home team. That Northside Lee. We went to the Gumbo Guru. So all right, hold up. Josephine's, they had the sticky wings. Sticky wings were a hit. Like some of the videos that I released on my Instagram, you know, as folks, you know, we using the hashtag the FCF 2022. And there's people like, man, I went back twice and got them sticky wings. So they also had something called Alfredo wings. So it's like an Alfredo sauce, but you know, they're the Josephine's Kitchen way of frying their chicken wings, right? Now, other folks that, you know, they had chicken sandwiches, they had this fried bread pudding, which was kind of like a Mac. Is think about your grandmama bread pudding inside of a
beignet or
a beignet. It would be a beignet with a very hard crust,
like stuff.
It was a stuff. So I thought it was like the egg roll exterior, so that you could have something that could really support. Because theirs was a more inconsistent bread pudding. Like my grandmother's bread pudding, she would eat one batch where it was kind of soft, and then she make another batch that was kind of more firm. Which was the way that I like that. I like my bread pudding kind of firm. I don't like my bread pudding like soggy. I want to be able to see my sauce, my whiskey sauce, bourbon sauce sit on my bread pudding.
Not be souped in.
I don't need
that thing to marinate.
Oh yeah, I don't need my bread pudding like this. But I did not go in with prejudice, right?
Right.
I did not go in with prejudice.
Open-minded.
Everything. And to be totally honest, I had to, what did I do? I DJ'd. Did I DJ somewhere? No, we did voter registration last week at Ocean Springs High School. And I took the photo booth out there, and I think we registered like 20 kids to vote, right? That was was that Friday? Yeah, that was Friday. So when I got done, I went to eat at this place called it was like 777 something. And it was like, you know, I was like, okay, let's go here. Eat, love, drink. Yes. Eat, love, drink, but the address of it was like 777.
Wow.
So I ordered a power burger, right? The power burger was like, it was, you know, it's vegan. So, you know, Tonya and Mac, you would be proud of me for doing that.
And where's this, in Ocean Springs?
It's in Ocean Springs.
I'm coming this weekend to that thing. Watch. I'm coming on the coast. I'm leaving Friday. Coming. You know, okay.
All right, we'll be here Friday. Jackson has a game Friday too, so you can catch the game if you want to. But yeah, so I ate that, and then we went, you know, we did the fried chicken things, and we didn't really even eat on that Saturday because we shot everything, Matt. We got interviews with everybody. We introduced them, you know, to the platform. We told them about, you know, honestly, everything that we do. And, you know, today we were even met with videos of folks having, you know, spoke highly of how we presented ourselves, how we moved about. And then, you know, once Tonya came in there, everybody in that summer bit knew us.
Yeah.
Now, and you know, we know how to real deal develop relationships on the spot. We had unks and aunties out the wazoo, but when Tonya got there,
no strangers.
They look, when I tell you they cut up so much. All I did was
DJ cut up, or did you cut up?
I kept the drink. I kept the drinks going. That's all.
She put the bourbon.
Did they cut up or did you cut up, Tonya? Which one was it?
No, look, let me tell you, they kept trying to take my glass because I think they thought I was full. I was like, I'm good. Look, I'm good. I drank man, look, mezcal and tequila. I was good. Look.
You did what?
Tonya cut up.
I know she did. Yeah.
Hey.
No. I had a good time. No, on the for real.
We did have a great time.
On the for real. We put it like this. Shout out to my boy.
Revel.
Look, this drink right here.
That mug is fire.
Rashad Williams, black owned.
It's a black owned
energy drink. Revel.
The whole can is less than 120 calories.
Bruh, it's like a whole pineapple big shot.
Yeah.
For real. On the
pineapple?
Yes. It's so good.
So I told Rashad.
He said he gonna sponsor the show. That's what he said.
Yeah. So I ain't open this.
Hey, this is a freebie right here now. Where you at?
Yeah. Also, shout out to my people at NOLA by Nature. I don't know if y'all got y'all Flatboy Gives t-shirt, but I got mine. I got you. I'm gonna get yours because I want the gold one. I'm gonna give you the one I got in the room. Hey, look, that thing was so nasty.
Hold up. I'm gonna pull it up.
Bruh, we had so much fun. I forgot. Look, see when my students came up, one of my students came up to me. She go, Miss Cannon. She was like this. I said, you calling me out? She went, I said, girl, let's go. You ain't saying nothing. And I love that my students are very true to who they are because I am true to who I am. So it keeps that open love and relationship of just truth between the musicians. Yeah. Man, you had a bunch of city officials out there. You had some great leaders who were having a good time.
Giggity.
We did an interview with Councilman Eugene Green, whose district that the Fried Chicken Festival was held in. So typically, and Tonya knows this better than we do, anytime you go to New Orleans, the festivals typically happen in downtown French Quarter area and all of that, right? Now, Tonya and her neighbors have started to do things in the Lower Ninth Ward, right? So being a trendsetter, right? Trendsetter, you're bringing things outside of where people usually would go, which is something typically that we would do with Yard Boy, right?
Right.
You know, everybody go to Buffalo Wild Wing. We say we're gonna create a wing night on the other side of town and take everybody over there. This is exactly like, you know, I don't know how long Cleveland has been doing it. I think, you know, you had a couple years off, then you get your COVID years, and now you're coming back. This is the comeback, right?
Yeah.
This is the comeback. Man, look, watch this. Y'all can see that?
Yeah, we got it. We're looking at it.
Watch this. Y'all hear that?
I was so real, working for the Mardi Gras. Carnival in New Orleans, I'm outside. Everybody talking about, boy, you super cold. There's only one Super Sunday, it ain't the Super Bowl. I was so real, working for the Mardi Gras. Carnival in New Orleans, I'm outside. Everybody talking about, boy, you super cold. There's only one Super Sunday, it ain't the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Skip. Yeah. Yeah, that thing was so nasty.
No, you didn't show out at all. Not at all. You wouldn't show out.
I was behaving, little wolf.
Yeah.
I was behaving. Look, on the gorilla though, when I tell you,
hey, bud,
lie and truth ain't in you.
I looked at Chuck and I said, Chuck, because I wasn't gonna do anything. So then I looked at Giz, and Giz said, here, he gave me the mic. I was like, all right, here we go. Because Giz and I've been going back and forth. I'm not done with mine.
Why, look. I saw Tonya. This is Tonya. This is Giz. Tanya's like this. This is Giz up here. Tonya said, Giz said, they did this. This is me. I said, oh.
Yeah. It's what Kevin Hart said when he got on the bus, it's about to go down.
Man, look, when I tell you
it was so fire. It was so fire.
This brother, and I keep telling Giz, like we go, texting back and forth. I say, you are a phenomenal conduit.
Man,
that's bringing true culture, generational
culture,
and understanding of what it means to be a Black Indian, a masculine Indian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because tourists know them as Mardi Gras Indians. They're not Mardi Gras Indians.
Nah,
they're Black Indians. They're masking Indians. Some of them mask, some of them don't. We have that. That's indigenous. That's in our bloodline.
Yeah.
And so what he's doing is he's bringing an understanding and overstanding to those who have taken what this amazing and powerful movement is, and why it's important to own and claim and stand in ownership of what we have.
Tell our story. So it'll be just thinking about him at the Tougaloo tailgate.
What? Let me text and see what his schedule look like.
And we still ain't dropped the flyer. We still ain't dropped the flyer about the gumbo challenge.
Oh, because she's booked. Remember I told you she's booked and Sonny's booked.
But you make gumbo. We still can do the gumbo.
I don't do gumbo. I'm not a gumbo lover.
Hey.
I'm not a gumbo lover.
Hey, all I'm saying, we could do the gumbo challenge whenever Mia X schedule is clear.
We'll wait on her.
Yeah.
We'll wait on
all I'm saying is, boy, we outside.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Go back and look at the video. I'm gonna post it in the comments. Wait till this drone footage come out. Wait till these interviews come out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell y'all that when we show up, we showed out. I'm trying to tell y'all. Go back. I'm here's who I want on my show.
Who you want?
I want iPod the DJ with Famous Amos and Flag Boy Gid.
Ooh.
And we could cut the show off.
Yeah.
Energy.
I'm telling you, man.
That thing gonna be nasty.
Nothing but energy.
Look, that's
a tour, Chuck. That's a tour. We need to do that on the coast.
That's the Mississippi Louisiana tour, Tonya.
What? Look, I'm down. I just want host. I just love to host that thing.
But see, here's the thing. I got all of this. Is the energy is flowing now. The energy is flowing.
Hey, wait, Chuck. Wait. Stop the energy.
Okay.
Stop talking.
Not stop it. Pause it.
Pause it. Put it in writing. Don't say nothing else because you're gonna look up. And by 2 months, you be like,
these mother.
Hey man,
pause it. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Take gear, time. Take gear.
All right.
Wait a minute. Don't say nothing else.
And then, all right. So look. Check this. Then, all in the midst of all of this happening, I run up on one of my brother's best friends from high school, like literally somebody that he grew up on the same street with. Not the street that I grew up on. I'm talking about the street that he grew up on, Anderson Avenue, Whistler, Mobile, Alabama.
Before y'all moved to that.
Yeah, Whistler, Mobile, Alabama.
Whistler.
So, yeah. Then ran into Miss Tougaloo, Janae Roberts. She was outside. Kristen Dobar. I don't think her name Dobar no more. I think that's her family name. But she was out there. So
That's who
like,
I met.
yeah, the
Okay.
attorney.
Yeah, cool people. Cool
Yeah.
people.
Then we get out, we pulling up at the hotel. I'm rewinding. We pull up at the hotel, man. Carmen man out there. Sarah, your Sarah Carmen. Man, I'm telling you, buddy, the fried
three.
chicken festival. The fried chicken festival.
Brought everybody out.
But you
Brought
know
everybody out.
what's and I can be one to have the ignorance of the understanding. Like at first, when it first came about, I was like, oh, this some coonish shit. That's what I thought the first time. Then
Yeah.
I started to sit back and I started watching
You
and
saw.
understanding. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can be so ahead and feel like we know everything that we are missing a lot. And when I tell you this festival, when I went to it the first time, I was like, oh, okay, this nice. It
Yeah.
changed my whole perspective.
Yeah.
Because what is the number one food that everybody in America eats? It's fucking
Chicken.
fried chicken.
Chicken.
Right? It's not a black thing. We just know how to cook the shit well, you know.
Well.
Well, I mean, we come up with some shit. I didn't have a chance to get the vegan chicken, but I
Wash
did
your
have
chicken first.
I wash that.
Not with-
You gotta
not with,
wash the chicken before you eat it. You gotta wash the
Yeah.
chicken before
Right.
you eat it. You know,
Right.
and not
You
with
gotta wash
Dove
the chicken.
soap,
You
y'all.
gotta wash the
Not
chicken.
with no damn soap. God damn it.
And
Nasty
folks
no.
doing that,
some
they
of 'em.
doing this stuff for Instagram likes, bro.
But it was a phenomenal, man. Look, that festival is truly blowing up. Because like I said, I went to the first one. And of course I went to the second one when the pandemic hit. This comeback, the location.
And
Yeah, the location alone, man.
ooh.
Like
I ain't even told you about the classic cars, man. Like it was our car show. You had Anjanice, she'd be proud of the vets, the Corvettes that were down there.
I'm gonna say like Chuck say, everybody was out.
Out.
OWT. I got you.
It was out
That's
in
what it
the-
was. It was out. It was out. Straight up. It was fire. I'm a Zeta all day. I gotta give credit where credit is due, brother. Bring that ass on back here. Bring that ass on back here, Fred.
Bring that back. Bring that ass back. Bring it.
I live because of the cars. Because I like, I like classic
Hey.
cars. So
Man, man,
Tanya,
you would have
so
enjoyed
Chuck knows that I've been like, I had an old school truck, right? And I ended up selling the truck. Long story, but I like old school stuff. So I was like, man. So I got
And,
another project I've been trying to get.
Currency, the spitter had some of his cars out there.
See,
The hot spitter.
It was
I like
sick.
old school shit, and I'm like, man, I already know.
It was something for everybody. It was something. When I tell you, it was a festival, well thought out, well produced.
Chevrolet Apache.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord, you lying.
He's going through content. Yeah, it was.
I'm looking through stuff right now.
Let me see the picture.
Show it to me. Let me see.
Let me see that picture.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Man.
Look at that. Look at that inside. Them guts. You see that? There you go. Look at this.
What people don't understand what they call the Fred Sanford truck. It's close to that Apache.
You see that? Boy, that thing was so clean, man.
That thing nasty. And that's real metal.
Real.
Look at that vet. This phone footage, bro. This phone footage.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm looking right now. We are at 10:18.
Oh, my bad. I got here late.
Hey, that's all right.
That's all right.
Sometimes it happens. You got to keep the party going. We got to stretch it out.
Well, look. Well, okay.
Let
Well,
me
let me give y'all this weekend. I'll be at Snug Harbor with Delphio Marcellus and Uptown Jazz Orchestra. We have 2 shows happening. One at 8, and I think the other one is at 10. So y'all, we're at Snug Harbor on Saturday. So I definitely hope to see you all. If I don't make it to the coast, in fact, it's going to be Sunday. I'm driving into the coast. I'm going to spend Sunday and Monday just relaxing. So, yeah, y'all come out Saturday night.
And,
all right.
And before we close the show out, definitely, like I said, everybody tune in. This weekend, You see the shirt, my freedom, my vote. Those who are in Mississippi, other places, but we know Mississippi Move is going to be on the ground, registering folks to vote. We know that the election is November 8th. You got to be registered 30 days prior to. You can postmark, put it in the mail by Monday. That means it needs to be in the mail Monday, not I'm going to put it in that Tuesday. It needs to be going through, checked in Monday. But we do not like to take a chance. So we like to try to get them in as soon as possible. So if you have to move or if you have moved, make sure you're registered to vote where you live. That will increase your chances of actually going to be able to cast your vote. But also make sure that you take a friend, tell somebody else, pass the message, check and make sure that folks are registered. If you're uncertain and folks are registered, ask them and see. Be mindful. Make sure this is important to you because it's important to us. And we want to make sure that you share this information. We're going to post some stuff later on, reminding folks to make sure you register to vote, change of address forms, any of those type of things is done this weekend. My freedom, my vote. As we have folks that continue to work to take away freedom for a lot of us, those people are associated to some type of political position. So we need to make sure that we are casting our vote and being educated when we do cast our vote.
Every time.
This Sunday will be the last water distribution at the Nest, aka Highlights Building across the street from Tougaloo. We're going to continue to be doing the work in the community, but this will be the last Sunday to do the water distro at 3 p.m. We're going out with a bang, baby. We're going to have plenty of food. We're going to have everything. We're trying to send the community out and make sure they have plenty of stuff that they need as we still can deal with this water crisis here in Jackson, Mississippi. And
I just want to shout out to the educators, friends and family who donated to Mississippi Move on
yep,
the
I was
water
about to get to that.
donation.
And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yep. So
And I
big
gave
shout
out
out.
soaps. I have some pictures.
Big shout out to our donation for the folks from Louisiana, New Orleans area. Our soror Tonya, our friend Tonya, made sure that we had some resources, and we had a lot of grateful people that are receiving these goods, good hot plates, sanitizer, spray, things that they need when you're dealing with a water crisis. You don't understand how important water is until you can't wash your hands, can't wash your pots,
or wash your ass.
cannot cook, cannot wash your ass, can't rinse your mouth. You don't understand when you've been dealing with that for over a month, and we've been dealing with the water notice since July.
Right.
So it's a very important situation. There will be a rally on Monday downtown Jackson around Moore Monday, and this is around the water crisis, and this is going to be about the children because our children has continued to go through a great sacrifice as we continue to figure out what we're going to do with them when they cannot drink the water. Think about folks that are Jackson and McCray age, and you're telling them, don't drink the water. And don't put the water in your hand and then put your finger in your mouth.
Oh, what you mean?
So those things are very, very important. As Chuck is on now, he can post a graphic. Again, as we started to show off, we are going to ask for condolences, prayers, and support to our brother Will, family, and the folks he leave behind, especially his daughter. We're highlighting his daughter's Cash App to make sure we can send support, and that should be separate, Chuck. And we have for those of you, we go to college, we hear a name, like I don't quite. That name sounds familiar. So we have a picture, one of the most recent pictures, and we ask folks continue to send good wishes and well wishes and support to Chandra. This is a lot. She had been in real life since he was 18 years old. So now she is working to raise their daughter. So let's continue to support. Stay Tougaloo strong. I always tell folks when we're doing great things, I say fly high, eagle, right? So we continue to fly high, and we continue to support our own. And for those of you trying to place Will, trying to remember who he is, Chuck is going to put a picture up really quick. And like I say, Renner Hall, House One for me. We have created a lot of great relationships, and folks we might not talk to often, we might not see them, but when we see them, we reconnect. We full of jokes and old memories, so definitely want to highlight it.
We've got information for the celebration of life services in the comments, so you can check that there. But what we have on the screen right now is Will's daughter, Caitlin Jenkins. You can see her Cash App there. As you can see, she looks to be a student active in her school, participating in homecoming activities and all of the other things that go along with being a high school student. So you definitely want to lift this family up in positive energy, and we plan to do just that during our alumni weekend activities. We're not gonna let this just go past us. So you can see Caitlin Jenkins Cash App right there on the screen, and we're definitely gonna pass some additional resources her way. Now, if for those of you that might not remember, or can't place Will's face, this is Will Jenkins, cousin of my ace dog, Albert Goins. So Will he kept his hair shorter, and I guess us guys, and we still got hair, and we get older, we grow it out a bit, but that's old Will right there. Like he used to just glide across campus. The joke was so cool. Am I lying, man?
Oh yeah. And Will was a smooth one, man. Good guy, and like I said, he was one of those guys. Runner Hall, there's stories about different campuses, and like Alcorn had Men's Tower. When you start talking about those, it was you have a group of men that are in one place. You have no other choice but to create relationships, whether they be good or not so good. But we have some good ones when we start talking about this brother right here, and everybody know Al. So definitely continue to reach out to Al. And old sick of hell now, all now, hell now. Continue to reach out to Al and support him in Tougaloo. We want to send this out. His daughter, ain't not gonna be long before she's gonna get ready to graduate. So we want to show her what type of family her mom and dad came through when we talking about Tougaloo College, and supporting them by supporting her. So for those out there that listen, who said Chuck?
I say most definitely.
Go
ahead.
Again, just next week, make sure y'all just want to give it, because I know we're about to go. Tune in next week. We have Del Marina Lopez, my soror, our sister soror, the first person of color to be in any municipal office in Chicopee County, Massachusetts, Council, Massachusetts. So she'll be on the show next week, and she's excited about being here. So make sure y'all tuning in. Make sure we spread the word. And man, y'all coming in strongly each week. So keep bringing the love. Maybe do some giveaways. Maybe do some giveaways next week. I got some shuts.
Some what?
Some shuts. Shuts and shots. I got shuts and shots.
But guess what? When you got those shirts, if you're selling them, what you trying to do?
I know, but I'm just saying, shout out to Chuck. There you go.
Wait.
Shout out to Jackson T-Ball team.
Let's go, Jackson T-Ball team.
We the OG Braves. OG triple OG Braves. We'll see y'all right back here next week. Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, we will be all up in your ears. And by the end of the week, we'll be at Tougaloo. We're going to be up there Monday, kicking it off. Founders Week, baby. Let's go.